Hello, my beautiful people. Today we will be reacting to Normani's Dopamine. How excited are we? I'm a little excited. A little late. That's okay. 2024. All right, let's go ahead and get started. This is track one, Big Boy featuring Stara. I do want to preface this real quick. The only Normani song I'm really familiar with is obviously Motivation. I loved that song. That song was great. It was great for the time it came out. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. The music video, the choreography, everything. So, allegedly, I've heard that a lot of people say that it was her label that was really holding her back, and that's why this album debut, her Dopamine album, didn't make a lot of noise, which is valid. I mean that's very understandable. You know, like if someone's holding you back, you can only do so much. But if I'm not mistaken now, she's not with that label anymore, so I'm excited to see what she's going to end up doing with this new path that she's on. But anyways, yeah, this is track one, Big Boy. Cornbread fed boy, I'm brought up on it. We love a good cornbread boy, don't we? Oh, they hit it right, don't they? Good God, she's uh cause that ass on that bitch, cause that ass on that bad bitch is fat as a bitch. What? Yes. I haven't heard Starra in a while, but I love that voice. A boy or a girl? I could not tell you that. Allegedly, but I love their voice. All right, that was track one on Normani's debut album, Big Boy. I see it was written by Brittany Stara Hazard, so definitely a woman, and Normani Hamilton and Tommy Brown. Normani is such a beautiful name. Also, Tommy Brown is the guy that was doing a lot with Ariana, right, on Thank You Next, and then he also worked on some of Positions as well. Um, I'm kind of happy that she kind of outgrew him. You know, he's established for a reason. He's good at what he does, but um, you know. Anyways, so that was track one. Would I give it a star? No. It was very in your face, which I appreciate, but I could definitely see it growing on me possibly if I digest this as a whole. Um, Going back to it individually, maybe, maybe. All right, this is track two. Still. Smooth. The beat is nice. I will say, I mean, this is only track two, but I'm glad. It's cool that she's talking her shit, right? As she should. She's fucking Normani, but what I'm leaning more towards is, debut. I want some introspection. You know what I mean? And so far what I'm getting is like, from this song, still, she's like, I'm still that bitch. You know, everything I've been through, I got here. I've been gone for a minute, but I'm still that bitch. And it's like, okay, but what have you been through? You know what I mean? Maybe I'm asking for too much, but like I said, this is her debut. A very long time coming for this one, so I would appreciate a little bit, just I don't know, substance. You know what I mean? But let's keep going. Like I said, I like the beat so far. Yeah. All right. I want to give a little shout out to this thing. I went to the Family Dollar yesterday to get myself some of those little Valentine candy hearts, the conversation hearts, because those are like some of my favorite candies. And I got this little wax melter thing. I love it. And it was literally, I think it was like $3 or something. I want to go back and get more because I'm loving it so far. I know, random little side note, but I just wanted to add something to my setup to really kind of set a mood, which I think that's gonna really come in handy during my late night reactions. Shout out my late night reactions. But yeah, okay, that was still you know, no, I don't know. Would I go back to it? No. Yeah, no. Um, but I'm excited to see where she goes from here. You know what I mean? Again, I'm seeing Tommy Brown in the writing credits, so obviously that means he also worked on the production because that's what he does. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of like I was saying Tommy Brown's work, but like I said, we're only on track 2, so let's see what track 3, All Yours, has in store for us. Oh, this is nice. I really like this. Oh, this is smooth. Ooh. Ooh, this is really nice. I like this. I like this. My country has like this. Oh, oh, damn. Ooh, that was a nice little switch up. I ain't never been fucked before in my butt, but I'd take it to this song. Yeah. Oh, she's hornier than a motherfucker. I take it back. Tommy Brown, I'll suck your fucking. Alright, we got a star on track 3, the first star of the album, All Yours. I loved it. I absolutely loved that song. I think it was, the melody was gorgeous, the production was gorgeous. I was talking my shit, saying I want a little bit more introspection from her as an artist. But that was like nice little jam. Hot take, it kind of reminds me of like Agora Hills, from Doja's album. It's like so many like in your face beats, hard hitting, and then it like slows down, but it does it in such a nice way. Fuck. All right, this is track 4, Lights On. Yeah, I get the atmosphere she's setting for this album, the sound at least. A quarter of a way through the song, a little bit more than a quarter of a way, and I like the beat. Um, that's about it so far. Lyrically, it's just I feel like we're getting what we've been getting the past 3 songs, which is fine. Now I know what to expect. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's gonna help improve, if there even needs to be improvement. My view of like what we're getting ourselves into. Sonically, it's very cohesive so far, which I appreciate, especially for a debut. And yeah, but lyrically, I mean, I guess this is just like a you get fucked album. You know what I mean? Like you get fucked. So there's nothing wrong with that. Where's that from? Make it look sexy. Make it look. I'ma make it look sexy. I'ma make it look sexy. Where's that from? I'm gonna be so pissed off when I finally remember. Yo, there's someone in my house. Okay. Fuck it. I'm having fun. It was track four, Lights On. I see that Victoria Monet is in the writing credits for this. I do need to do some reactions to her work because her popular songs are really the only songs that I know, but I love the ones that I know by her. But anyways, this is about Normani. I could see this one growing on me. I wouldn't put a star to it right now, but I would seek it out again. I would. And I could, like I said, definitely see it growing on me, you know? One thing about me, I'm horny all the time. Like, my biggest fear in life is like whenever I like hear about someone or meet someone, they're like, oh, they have a erectile dysfunction or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't think that could ever be me, and if it ever is, I'll just take myself out, because I have the stamina of a fucking bunny. But yeah, I mean, yeah, horny, sure. I'm always horny, like I said. Why not? Like now I know what to expect from this album. Watch I say that, and then we're about to get into her fucking diary entries. Just kidding. All right, this is track five. Take my time. Has like a little lullaby sound to it. Was that her? That was gorgeous. You know, usually when I'm doing these reactions, I like to give some commentary as we go along, but I don't really. There's nothing really to comment on. It's just essentially, you know, the same thing, which, like I said, is fine. But I just wanted to point that out. If I'm not doing a lot of talking in this video, which it looks like I might not be, it's just because, you know, we're essentially just rehashing stuff. But you know. That was track five, Take My Time. Lyrically, like I said, nothing really going on there. Sonically, for me personally, I would say the same. Let me reiterate, just because I don't enjoy a song doesn't mean a song is bad. So, I accept criticism, but I don't accept hate. I'll just say that real quick. I'm seeing Tommy Brown. He's alive and well in this fucking album, huh? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't put a star, and I wouldn't go back to it. I genuinely did not really enjoy that song at all. This for some reason this made me think of, remember when Ariana Grande was doing the Charlie's Angels soundtrack, and she had that song with Normani and Nicki Minaj, and then everyone was like, "Oh, this is it! Like we've been waiting for this." And then Ariana, like they all literally had to come out and say, "No, y'all, it's." They basically had to say it's not a good song. They were like, "It's you know, just take what you get." Basically, it still cracks me up thinking about that. But yeah, that was Take My Time. As of right now, we only have one star, and that's all yours. Yeah, this is track six, Insomnia. I'm thinking this might be a ballad, but let's see. I finally stopped the tears from running, and I know that's gotta count for something. But when you decide to hit me, I'll reminisce on all the history. And if it ain't because of the whiskey, I wonder if you really miss me. Wow. Wow, that was beautiful. That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful gowns, beautiful gowns. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Uh, uh, I wonder if you really miss me or you got some device that tells you when I'm fine. Because it's the very moment that you hit my line. We've all been there. Personally, I've been on both sides of that coin, you know. Is starting to make my way up, and then, you know, you get that very scary message from someone that you don't want to hear from. And then also being that motherfucker that messaging is the person that you have no business messaging. But yeah, I mean, I like lyrically, I'm like, you know, I'm really intrigued, so I want to see where she goes with this. I like this part. This is nice. Yeah, I like this. I like this. That was track 6, Insomnia. Um, I love that little breakdown towards the end with the guitar. That was beautiful. Um, the chorus didn't really scratch anything for me. But lyrically, we're on track 6, and I would say this is the most fleshed out. Uh, you know, I don't know how to word it. Um, thoughtful lyrics that we've gotten. Which is fine. I love my horny songs. Like, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I wouldn't put a star next to it. And I wouldn't go back to it. But I appreciate it for what it was. And like I said, I really enjoyed that little breakdown. I'm seeing Taylor Parks in the writing credits, and yeah, it's just yeah. All right, this is track 7, Candy Paint. Ooh, I like this. When I'm finished, baby, you can have him back. Damn right, girl. Normani, you could have anyone. Oh my god. She talking her shit. Oh. But I'm bumping. Baby, I could take your place if I wanted. Yes, yes, you could. Mmm. Ooh. What does candy paint mean? Booty candy painted with the diamond in the back. What does that mean? I don't even know what it means. This is fun. Woo! That was track 7, Candy Paint. Let me put a goddamn star. That was fun. I didn't want that to end. I was having a really good time with that one. Y'all can call me a hypocrite all you want, but like I said, now that I know what this album is giving lyrically, it's just it's the beats now that are carrying this album for me. You know what I mean? Like I need to feel it. It needs to hook me, personally. And but yeah, that was fucking insane. I like that. Again, can anybody tell me what the fuck is candy painted? Booty candy painted with the diamond in the back. What does that mean? Um, that was fun though. I had a lot of fun with that. That's my second star. Between that one and all yours, I would probably say. Is it too early? No, I would say all yours is still my favorite so far, and then second is candy paint. All right, this is track 8, grip. That was track 8, grip. Um, I could see that one growing on me. I wouldn't put a star next to it right now, but I could see myself going back to that individually. I like that. I like that. Sonically, it was really nice, really chill. One thing I forgot to point out in Candy Paint, track 7, the previous one we just reacted to, that had no Tommy Brown in the writing credits. I'm kind of seeing a trend here, unfortunately. But yeah, this one was nice. I would go back to it. I would go back to it. All right, this is track 9, 159, featuring Gunna. I love the title of the song 159. It's so specific. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't this a single? She has a beautiful voice. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Well, that was 159 featuring Gunna. Listen, I don't want to get a stigma around my channel where, because I've had this thing where you have such a powerful female voice, artist, lyricist, whatever, singing, talking her shit, singing her ballads, and then you just get this rando man on the beat. And sometimes it takes me out a little bit because Normani is such an icon in her own right, and I guess Gunna, or not, I guess Gunna is too, but um, I don't know. I'd rather just hear Normani, and I know that's not fair because she wrote the song most likely in mind with having him on it, so I should immerse myself in it. But you know, I'm here for Normani, and I guess to be fair, his little moment wasn't too long. So all right, this is track 10, Distance. Sounds very familiar to Was It All Yours? The opening of that, the boom, 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 boom. That was nice. Cause I fell in love with potential. Cause you made your heart unavailable. I need to love you from a distance. Tired of fighting for attention. Wow. So it's either she's horny as fuck or she's fighting for her life in a relationship. You know, now that I say that out loud, that's definitely a vibe. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I mean, uh, you can only do so much in a relationship. You know, it really does go both ways, and that's why it's always good to be in a relationship where one isn't offering more than the other. Because in that case, if someone is doing everything for you, driving you, paying for everything, you know, all this shit, then it's like you kind of get locked into this mindset of fuck, I want to leave, but I can't really leave, can I? You know what I mean? Because the lives are so intertwined at that point, and then you just start accepting like I'm just gonna have to fight for this motherfucker's attention, and I can't imagine how exhausting that is. So yeah, you know, lyrically very raw so far. Ooh, that's nice. Oh my god. God damn. Gorgeous. Very somber song with a very somber outro. And I'm not talking about somber the artist, obviously. You know the actual word. No Tommy Brown in the fucking credits. That was insane. That was beautiful. The atmosphere, the lyricism, the melody, I already said lyrics. I just can't get over it. That was gorgeous. You know, it sucks to be in that position. But once you get out of it, it's like fucking stepping outside from a cave you've been locked in for like years. You know what I mean? It's like such a it feels like time stops when you're in a relationship like that, and then when you finally get out of it, it's like you have to adjust to this new age, no matter how long the time constraint was of being with that person, because this world with social media, everything is constantly changing, so you're constantly having to conform and do all these extra steps just to be able to stay uh, in the dating pool, essentially. You know what I mean? Right, this is track 11, Tantrums, featuring James Blake. One thing about me, I love me some James Blake. Listen, I know I was just complaining about fucking Gunna, but this man, his production, his voice, his lyricism, he always offers the most when he comes to an artist on their work, their individual work. So I'm very excited to hear this. I already know it's gonna fucking rip my heart out, rip my anus out, but I'm ready. Don't you know that all that shit you do to me gonna find its way back? It sure fucking will. It sure fucking will. Longevity, man. Like, some people, they do not grow, they do not evolve, they do not learn, especially after you cap it off at an age. You know, I like to say maybe like 25, 26, 27. If a motherfucker is still playing games after that age, then it's like they're not gonna evolve at any point. You know what I mean? Because we got those fucking frontal lobes now. But yeah, that shit always comes back to bite you in the fucking ass. Tantrums, baby. Don't you throw that. Act just like a baby with your grown ass. Oh, if y'all have been watching my Robin reactions, that woman is very dead set on being with motherfuckers that like to cry their ways out of situations. Love you, Miss Robin. But fucking pussies, and I can say that because again, I've been on both sides of the coin in that situation. But I grew up. I learned my lesson. I realized, don't be a fucking pussy. All these men that push you to a reaction, and women that push you to a reaction, get that reaction, and then fucking cry when you retaliate. You know, in the sense of them literally pushing you to that point, fucking blows my mind. Like, how much of a fucking pussy can you be? Is this the perspective of the people in the said relationship? Like they're talking to each other? Ah, his voice. God, James Blake, please fuck me. I don't know if I really like what he's doing right there. Oh, their voices are beautiful together, huh? Oh, I always speak too soon on this channel. Listen, I love me some James Blake. He's one of the few male artists I listen to individually. Even then, I don't really listen to a lot of his work. The songs I really like by him, I play a lot. Obviously, that's how that works. But I don't, I don't know. He was doing a really weird thing with his. It was just a very weird um, melody that he was doing. And can please, God, please, seriously, please just get Tommy Brown at the fucking studio, at least on this album. Like, I'm sorry. Like I said, he's established. He's a good producer. He's where he's at because of the good work he's made, but it's just not clicking for me. Him on this album, very things are starting to sound a little repetitive. Um, but that being said, I would not put a star next to this. I would possibly go back to it, and possibly seek it out again. But yeah, no. We are on track 12, Little Secrets, the second to closing track. I wonder if it's going to merge well with the closing track, which I do recognize the closing track. I'll talk about that when I get there, the Cardi B one. But yeah, this is Little Secrets. I'm excited. Uh, well, I mean, as excited as I can be. You know, like I said, I can say this album is very cohesive. I can't miss it if I already had it. That dick ain't worth shit, huh? Oh, I think I misinterpreted the song. Let me up, let me up, let me upstage your bitch. Let me upgrade your shit. Oh, maybe that dick is worth something. Alright. One thing I've learned about Normani, she stands on fucking business, huh? Yeah. I love that. Thought you knew me like a movie, making me sit. It's almost cinematic. I love that. That's nice. No, no, I wouldn't go back to that, and obviously I wouldn't put a star. Um, all right, this is the closing track, "Wild Side" featuring Cardi B. I believe this song came out in 2021, so it's been marinating for a while. But if I remember correctly, I don't hate this song, but it could obviously the my perception on it can change listening to it in this body of work that it was originally intended to be in. So let's see. Doop doop doop. I like the chorus. I could probably suck a watermelon through a straw. That was the closing track, "Wild Side" featuring Cardi B. I see Missy Elliott's in the writing credits. Does she sample or something? Oh, and Timbaland's in there too. All right. No Tommy Brown. I like that one. I could see it. I haven't heard that song in a very long time, but I could see it growing on me, and I could see myself seeking it out. One thing about me, I love me some Cardi B. I love me some Cardi B. So yeah, it's hard for me to not enjoy a song that she's on. That being said, this was Normani's Dopamine album. I have one, two, three stars. The stars are all yours: Candy Paint and Distance. Um, I would listen to this album again, especially knowing what the subject matter is going to be predominantly about. Mm, yeah, for a debut, like I was saying, I was expecting a little bit more, a little bit more, come on in. This is what I've been up to all these years. This is what I've been having to go through. But I recognize that there's no shame in, making a song with some potential hits in there to get your name out there, and then I'm putting out a second studio album that could really take off for you. I don't know how well this album did with the general audience or sales wise, but yeah, I don't know. I would listen to it again though, as a whole, and I'm sure that some more of these songs would grow on me. But yeah, a little disappointed, but that's okay. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's a bad album. All right, thank you all for watching. That was Gotham Night Lights reacts to Dopamine by Normani. If you're interested, I've done reactions to Miley Cyrus, Tate McRae, Kesha, FK Twigs, Robin, Zara Larson. So if you're interested in that, you definitely go check those out. I appreciate you taking your time to watch this video. Time is very precious, and I do not take that lightly. And I also make separate content about, sobriety, my daily life. I know that's not for everyone, so. But if you want to subscribe, that'd be cool. If not, maybe just consider leaving a little likey poo. And yeah, and we're all blessed, and we should remember that. And again, thank you for your time. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.